Hi, I'm Christopher, aka the Bronze Age Nerd, and in this episode of Nerd News, let's talk about Galactus, the Devourer of Worlds, as a toy. So, as the follow-up to the gigantic Haslab Sentinel, Hasbro has announced a new Marvel Legends mega figure. And the Haslab Sentinel was previously the largest Marvel Legends figure ever released. It's going to be about 26 inches tall or so. It's going to include lots of cool accessories like tentacles and extra small figures, Prime Sentinels and Bastion, and a lot of other cool stuff. And I actually pre-ordered one. It was a pretty cool thing that I decided to do, and luckily my wife signed off on it. And I'm really excited to get that. It's actually supposed to be shipping this fall. But today they announced a new Haslab project, and this one is a very cool one. It's the largest Marvel Legends figure ever made. It's going to be about 32 inches tall, and it's Galactus. Galactus is probably the epitome of large villains or large characters in general in the Marvel universe. So this is super exciting. This Galactus figure is going to have over 300 pieces and 70 points of articulation. It has 20 points of articulation in each hand, and there's some really cool shots of it kind of holding things or how it could move its fingers. Looks like every knuckle, every joint's going to have some articulation, so that's really cool. Should be a lot of cool posability with this thing. It's actually one of the things I'm concerned about with the Haslab Sentinel is what kind of posability are we going to get out of this figure, this giant figure. And luckily Galactus looks like he's going to solve some of those problems. This figure is going to have LEDs in its head, LEDs in its chest, and it's going to be powered by 4 AAA batteries. Not included, of course, because it's a toy, and they never include batteries with toys. Oh, you know that by now? But it's also going to have 3 swappable faceplates, which is kind of interesting. With the Haslab Sentinel, they went with 3 different heads, you know, kind of a master mold head and different stuff like that. Makes sense for Galactus because he's pretty much always going to have the same helmet on, to include 3 different faceplates so you can get different expressions on him. They're also including a boatload of Marvel Insider points and some free comic books that detail the origin and first appearance of Galactus. So just some really cool stuff. It's going to run from July 16th through August 30th. So you have plenty of time to get your finances in order and decide if you want to take the plunge for this $400 action figure. Yeah, that's a steep price tag. It's a pretty cool collector piece though, and I think a lot of people are going to be willing to pay that. Now, I personally, for my impressions of this figure, I think it looks great. It's pretty much the look for Galactus that I would want. I think they gave him a lot of articulation, which is really cool to see. I have a feeling that we'll see some stretch goals with this. I haven't seen any particular announcements about when they're going to be revealing those, if they're going to do it similar to the Haslab Sentinel. But hopefully for the people that are lucky enough to back this project, there'll be some extra stuff thrown in. I can't imagine them not throwing in like a Silver Surfer, for example. That just makes too much sense. And maybe some kind of way to display him flying around Galactus or something. That would be super awesome. So this is a really cool way to turn Galactus the Devourer of Worlds into Galactus the Devourer of Wallets. And if you want to get your Haslab Sentinel, make sure you go over and back the project today at HasbroPulse.com. And I'll catch you in the next episode of Nerd News. I want to remind you, as always, hey, read comics every day.